Say it ain't so, brother. Say it ain't so. What's up, everyone? Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Elite Fantasy Nation Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Dennis. You can follow me at Fantasy Matt EFN. Followed, as always, with my boy, joining my boy, Pat Wendelken. You can follow him at City Stars 136. What is up, Pat?
What's up, brother? Nothing. Another hopeful Saturday and wherever we are and whatever time it is, but we're here. Let's rock it out. Try to give you all the good juice.
Pat's job has been working him to death. We had a great intro that we recorded, and then I realized I forgot my headphones in and was worried that the audio would be fucked up, so I decided to have us restart. Pat was not happy, but here we are. Mock Draft 2.0, my friend.
Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so.
So we got a couple things coming up on the next, and we'll talk about the Say it ain't so comment here in a second, but just want to kind of give a couple of shout outs to some stuff that we've got coming up. Like I said, Mock Draft 2.0 today. It is Saturday. It's about 12 days out, I think, from Thursday night kickoff. So real football is almost here.
Woo.
It is preseason week 3, and nobody starts, so we don't care. So,
no.
But we do have some news.
You're pretty safe now. You're in the safe zone. I mean,
you're in the safe zone. And we're gonna keep saying Zay as much as we can.
That's right.
Yeah. So today we'll do a mock draft. We have some guests coming on. So if you haven't followed our All In podcast on South Harmon, I'll add the feed at the bottom of this description. So please click on it.
May I say, shame on you if you're not following us there or South Harmon. You should be part of the group. It's a great group.
It's a huge family. We love the family, man. So speaking of, we're going to have Matt Kiwan from the family on Monday. We're going to do recording on All In. We'll do a mock draft with Matty Kiwum. So I have him on. And then next Tuesday, we're going to try to give this a go. I'm crossing my fingers because I hope it works.
This, guys.
So we're going to try. So we record on Ecamm Live. We're going to try a new platform doing StreamYard. And we're going to try to do a live feed and a live mock draft with two buddies that we met when we were at the expo. Pat reached out to them. So BS Scene, they've got their own podcast called BS Scene Sports, I believe. So BS Scene is the podcast. So check out their feed. I'll also add their feed to our link below to the description. So we're going to have two of their content creators on. So do a 4-person mock draft, which would be pretty cool because it'll be like a third of the mock draft, which would mean there'll be less algorithm kicked in and CPU bullshit picks. So the 4 of us will try to do a live feed mock draft next Tuesday. We'll start at 7 a.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, which will be 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
That's correct.
We'll set it up ahead of time, so please mark it on your calendars. Please join us, ask questions, maybe even tell us your draft spots if anybody wants to join the feed. And if you want to tell us a draft spot, I'll take one of them, and I will pick one that you guys suggest. Pat can pick the other one, and then we'll let the BSN crew kind of do what they want to do if they want to pick theirs or not. But definitely join us. We're going to try live feeds this season. So we're kind of pretty stoked about that. What do you got to say about that, Pat?
I love it, bro. I want everyone's input and feedback, join, chat. I don't care what you say. I don't care if you want me to cut my hair. Whatever you want. The most stupidest shit, I don't care. Just be a part of it. Come join the family.
And then you also want one of our good buddies, the mayor you keep calling him. You want to send him out a formal invite? Who do you want on,
Fizzle, bro. It's been a long time, man. I don't know. It's you're about that time. You're overdue. Mr. Mike McNutted, you're another one that's well overdue.
You got to come back. Yes, sir.
Adam
hasn't even been on yet. So
haven't been on yet, so he's got to get on here. And any of the South Harmon's always welcome, bro. It's a big family, so come one, however it goes, you're all welcome at any time.
Shout out to South Harmon. As Pat said, anybody on South Harmon family is welcome anytime. Also, you want to talk about the Sunday thing that you're going to be doing? First week, first kickoff weeks.
Yeah, so week 1, Maddie hit me up and asked me to come on with Eric. They're doing a basically live pre-Sunday, Sunday morning kickoff. Yeah, so I'm gonna do week 1, start, sit, why, any drops, any maybe quick add-ons, what to look at, matchups, all live. Doing it goddamn live, damn it. I love it. So I'll be on week 1. Cool. And then Matt will be on a couple, and then it'll be blending and mixing. So you get everyone's opinions and views. So nothing's going to be like the only one that's going to be there is Eric. So he'll be like the only consistent guy. But other than that, it'll be bouncing around. So it's also something really good to, check out and support and ask advice and ask for tips and advice, and then see what you like and what you don't like.
Oh, yeah. And as Pat said, we're trying to grow our content, obviously, as we mentioned. trying to spread our arms and kind of dip our hands in a whole bunch of different pots. So besides All In, like he mentioned, we're going to be doing every Sunday pre-kickoff. Please check out South Harmon live feed. One of us will probably be on there at least every week, if not every other week, kind of mixing it up and giving our thoughts. So jump on there, ask questions. It's a great way to kind of get interaction. South Harmon is very much about interacting with the crew and, with the community. So everybody, please, jump in, join the audio link, which I'll, like I said, add below, and then also kind of just join the live feeds. We'd love to have you there. Love to kind of see you guys in the chats and represent from Elite Fantasy Nation onto South Harmon and vice versa. So yeah. So as we talked about, we'll do a mock draft today. We're going to try to do as many as we can between now and Thursday when kickoff happens. We'll probably do at least one, if not two more. We'll do live, like I said, on Tuesday with the BSing crew, and maybe do one Wednesday, just Pat and I, or maybe we can get Fizzle on Wednesday. Maybe we can do Fizzle Wednesday. That'd be cool.
Fizzle Wednesday. Well, there you go. It's a formal
Fizzle Wednesday.
Hopefully, when he watches this, he should know what's coming then.
I'll call your boss, and I'll tell your boss that you can't work late Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. How about that?
Okay. That sounds good. I'll take it.
Yeah. All right. I'll talk to him about that. I don't know this guy, but we'll pretend. All right, Pat, take us to the news.
So first off, let's go with the good. Bo Nix. We all kind of saw it coming. He did a great preseason. There's really no heavy competition. He lands a starting job with the Denver Broncos. Like I said before in our first take, John Elway is the only thing that they compare it to right now. So everyone's got a lot of hype. First rookie coming out to start week one like this. So there's a lot of, in Broncos country, a lot of goodness for once, not negativity. So hopefully Bo can land this job. And yeah, I know. But I'm trying to be positive on this.
I know, because you don't actually like Bo Nix at all. So that's
but he did play really well. Like he
was very consistent.
Gotta give it to him on this. So I mean, as long as he stays consistent and plays right, good for them, bro. It doesn't bother me. It has no relevance to me at all.
So a little backstory for that too. So for people that don't really follow college ball, which I know a lot of people don't, because it's hard enough to follow enough regular football, let alone college ball. He was the most accurate quarterback in college last year. Bo Nix was for Oregon. He's I think a 4-year starter. So he was at first at Auburn. He sucked. He transferred to Oregon. He kind of rebuilt his career. He was actually a highly touted recruit coming out of high school. Went to Auburn. That did not work out. He did not look good at all at Auburn. Then went to Oregon. Then became very consistent. And the reason why he's consistent is like he was known for kind of like short intermediate passes, and that's what he's known for. Very, quick passing, get it out, get it in, get it out, which is, pretty much like what's going to work in this offense. So it seems like he's a good fit for the offense, for Sean Payton's offense and what he wants to do. So good for him, man. And that's how you become consistent, just quick passes and let it rip and move on. I'm
excited to see what it is, see what they have,
It's good for Dynasty for people that drafted him, took a flyer on him. He's going to be a starter, so can't go wrong. Yeah.
So that's going. Let's go to the negative. Say it ain't so. Zay Jones is suspended 5 games for violating the NFL conduct policy. So 5 weeks, you will not see him. He will not be on the Cardinals bench or anything. So if you have him and you drafted him, just know he's not good for 5 weeks. And if you're starting him, then you have a bigger problem because your wide receivers must really suck.
I was going to say the same thing. I was like, if you're fucking starting him, if you're relying on him for anything, you've got a lot of issues.
But Dynasty, it's just know he's not. Well,
he was somebody. Anyway, he was somebody for sure. In best ball, he was somebody that was did something or was relevant. So it's definitely like we'll have some type of ramifications. But sucks for Zay, but sucks for that offense honestly because that takes away one less person that the defense needs to focus on. So that has put more attention again on Marvin Harrison. So yeah,
it's all right. And then I guess last but not least, we'll go into 2 other topics. I'm going to throw this one out to you. I'm going to break it up a little bit.
Do it.
Matt.
Freestyle that shit, man. Freestyle that.
CeeDee Lamb and Jamar Chase have not shown up. I mean, they've shown up, but have not participated in any practice or any preseason activities, have not played with the team yet. CD should be signing something sooner than later. I don't know what he's going to sign, but they got to give him something because they need him because he's not going to play, clearly. Then Jamar is also holding out with 2 years left. What do you see rising, falling? Where do you put them in that first round? Because they are both top 5 players to be drafted.
Yeah, I'm more so. I think this question's a great question because obviously these drafts are happening, and the longer this goes, it's creating a lot more anxiety with people that
Big
have
time.
drafts, which totally understand, and it should, right? Because it's not a fun subject, and it's not fun conversation. I'm sure for them, they're serious about it, and they're trying to show how serious they are by not doing anything, right? I will say out of the two, I'm more concerned with Lamb, and the reason being, you've kind of alluded to it. Chase still has 2 more years left on his contract. I feel like given that organization, Cincinnati, they've already paid Burrow. They're gonna pay Chase. I don't think it's about them not paying Chase. I think it's a matter of like how much, when, all those conversations. Probably the amount of guaranteed money that it's involved is probably part of it. I'm less worried about Chase. Not saying he's not dropping. I think he should drop, but I think if push comes to shove, I could see Chase showing up week 1. Regardless if he has a contract or not. Personally, there's been no information about this. This is just my personal gut feeling. So I'm going to be clear about that. Lamb is the one where I'm a little bit more nervous and worried about, and for a couple of reasons. One, Dallas doesn't pay. Like, I was listening to some guys, and they kind of brought up, I don't follow Dallas sports. I'm not a Cowboy fan. And since I've been doing fantasy football, I really don't pay attention to the contracts as much, except for recently. And they brought up that like the last time they really paid somebody high end in the offense was like a decade and a half ago. So like 15, 20 years ago. So it's been a very long time. So like that makes me worried given Jerry Jones' situation, how he is. He's a cheap bastard. We've talked about that numerous times on this podcast. He's a penny pincher, dude. And like, that's kind of what worries me. And then also it is Lamb's last year. I could see him, holding his ground a little bit harder and expecting what he wants versus just settling and saying, all right, I'll play it out. Not saying he wouldn't show up if he doesn't have a contract. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I think that there's more likelihood, if I'm a betting man, that Lamb would hold out longer without a contract than I think Chase would, is kind of what I'm getting at.
Okay. That's fair to say. That's what I was kind of going with, see what we got. But,
I think both of them drop. I think both drop, Pat, for sure.
Man, it sucks because, these guys are like top 5. They're right there, dude. You can mix these old guys around. So as people draft, I know a couple of my friends are asking me, just take it with a grain of salt, man. Just keep it in the back of your head with the situations that they created and what their owners created too. You know what I mean? Like for Jerry Jones, he should have just done this a long time ago and the price would have been cheaper. But now, JJ's set the new market. He's going to break the market, and then Jamar's going to break the market. So you're looking at it. I heard rumors Jamar Chase wants about 140 4 years. That's what he wants, basically, around that 164 years. Kind of like. Anyway, I think he wants
35. What is that? 35 million a year?
He wants like about 35 to 40. I think that was what they're rambling about. Like, kind of, it's a lot, man. But that's what they want: 35 to 40 million for. That's what Jamar's camp. I think what I was read on a couple B reporters and people around very close to the Bengals I follow were saying it's averaging between 35 to 40 million a year, 4 years. And then they'll probably restructure it and do everything again. But that's what they're trying to stop at. So, I mean, imagine Jamar gets signed first, and then CD he's last. Be like, yo, look, my man got signed over here. Look what he just did. Broke the market. Now you're matching that, or I'm even going higher? Because that's all that's going to cost them.
And I could see that. It could also be kind of a war of attrition between Chase and Lamb to see who signs first, because you want to be the second person to sign. Because to Pat's point, you want to be the second person to sign because you want to see what the person ahead of you.
I'm saying like the owner's gonna be foolish. Like, no, now I got to pay even more. Like that's where it's gonna land. Yeah.
So I mean, and honestly, another part of the conversation we could actually have too is that if you haven't done your draft and if it's not set up yet, talk to your commissioner and say, hey, instead of it being, a lot of people draft next weekend. Well, if they're not signed by next weekend, you still have 4 days before they kick off. So maybe you put your draft to Tuesday or Wednesday, right before the season starts. That way it gives you another couple of days to see, do they sign one of them? And, the weekend before the season starts, or even that Monday before the season starts, and it gives you a couple of days leeway. So something to think about as you have drafts coming up I'm actually, as we're talking about this, I'm thinking about, initially I was going to have one of my shake and bake league. Initially I was going to do the draft on Saturday, and maybe I'll talk to them and see if they're going to do it Tuesday to just buy more time for stuff like this to kind of work its way out if it can. It doesn't hurt if you have the ability to do that, push out a couple of days. As we've said, it's always better to have your draft be as late as possible before the season starts, because like anything like this can hopefully be resolved. So these are all great conversations, but regardless, I don't think it makes him fall that far. I think it makes him fall a little bit, but I don't think it's like a crazy, like a round or two. Like I see them maybe 3 or 4 spots for both of them.
That's what I'm saying. Like you're still going to be, it's still a first round. You're not,
you're not
going to the second round. If they go to the second round, then you got a bonus for sure. So if someone thinks it taking it that seriously, I wouldn't worry that much. Yeah. But I mean, but as we do our mock today, I'm in the 5th spot, and you're going to see my dilemma because I've been mocking a lot in that spot. So I'll help you out there. To push out of the news and get our ass moving. Jahan Dotson traded to the Eagles.
Oh shit, we didn't even hit the
I gotta get that. Not a major news,
it's actually pretty big
trade.
News. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he goes Washington Commanders, ship him out. Was it a 5th, Matt, he gets?
Well, they shipped out
3rd.
They shipped Dotson and a 5th, and in return they got a 3rd and 2 7ths back.
2 7ths, yeah. So that's that. Yeah. There you go.
So they basically swapped a 5th for a 3rd, and they got 2 7ths. So
yeah, he dropped. His stock is now officially dropped. The Eagles got too many mouths to feed with a nice new running back. Sorry, dude.
I look at him as like almost irrelevant now at this point. I mean, in that Eagles offense, he's the wide receiver 3, probably the receiver number 4 behind Goddard, the tight end.
Goddard, yeah.
And then you mentioned even, Saquon. You brought that up. Yeah.
Another new toy in the background. So, good luck, bro. But that's it, Matt. We're up. We're all caught up to date that I know of.
All right, now we're going to switch over, man. We're going to switch over to what we've really come here
for.
Let's fucking go. This is Mock Draft 2.0. I should have changed it to Mock Draft 2.0. Pat is in the 5 spot, which is where his head is hovering over. I am in the 12. We haven't really, the first draft that we did, I was a 3, Pat was a 9. So we want to mix it up a little bit. So he's picking the 5. He already knows a couple of his draft spots, so he's trying to pick ones that he can kind of learn from and show his expertise from. We haven't done the turn yet. So I figured I'll do the 12 spot, and we'll see how this goes. We changed the clock to be 2 minutes. It'll give us a little bit more time to kind of talk through what we see going on in the boards, at least the first couple of rounds. Oh, and before I get into the mock draft, please hit the like and subscribe down below. We're at 93 subs. We want to hit 110. I'm putting it at 110 before the season kicks off. So it gives us 17 more people we need to get signed up. So please help the algorithm. Tell us if there's a draft spot you want us to pick from for the next one that we do. We'll try to do a couple more like I mentioned between now and kickoff of the season. So let us know if there's one that you want us to do. Tell us the spot and why, and we'll be happy to do another one. But until then, you ready, Pat?
Start this bitch.
Let's start this bitch.
No, what happened?
No. I was just gonna say it's a basic PPR, just a format. Basic PPR.
Oh yeah.
1 PPR league, so full PPR. We did 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 2 flex, a QB, kicker, and defense because it is redraft and want to represent it accurately. So here we go. Yes, are you sure you want to draft? Yes, we do. All right. CeeDee Lamb. Wow, as we're talking about CeeDee Lamb goes to 101. You don't really see that much. CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Christian McCaffrey, and Bijan Robinson. Usually CMC's number 1.
Yeah, but this is what there's the dilemma starts. Like, would you take him 1?
Who, CMC?
CPU doing it, but still. No, Lamb, no
Hill, way. There's no way in hell I'm taking. There's no way in hell I'm taking Lamb number 1. I'd take CMC.
Dude, in redraft, I've seen crazier stuff happen. That's all I can tell you. I've 100% seen crazier things happen. So now here's my. I'm not taking Jefferson. I'm not a fan of him this year. I don't like the quarterback situation. You already know how I feel with that.
Yeah, you're gonna take your boy. Come on, man. You're a homer.
No. Bro,
oh shit!
I took the other one.
Oh, surprise! I love it, man. So take us through your thoughts on why you took the other one.
I just did this. I can't chase. I have him in. I have stock in him in a lot of leagues now. I'm like, you know what? Just in case, not just in chase, just in case.
Okay.
St. Brown will be the pick. Jefferson, I don't like the quarterback situation, so I'm passing on him. Okay. My only other thought would be kind of like Breece Hall, dude. I think he's gonna have a phenomenal year. To be honest with you, that was my other little dilemma in my brain.
Okay. I love this St. Brown pick, by the way. I think he's consistent. I don't think you have anything to worry about, to your point. There's less risk. There's a lot less risk. So Jefferson, there's risk with the QB. You don't know what's going to happen there. Chase, we've talked about that at the intro. There's definitely risk about his contract, when he's going to show up, how, and we didn't even talk about this too. I know they're athletes and they kind of do their thing, but how many people get injured after they sit out the whole entire preseason and camp and then go into the NFL season, like they're ready to go and something happens because they're just not up. They haven't ramped up to speed of the gameplay. So there's also that concern of injury with these two guys, to be honest with you, that nobody's really discussed that I think it is worth talking about.
Yep.
After chasing, you have Breece Hall, AJ Brown went to Team 9, Jahmyr Gibbs, who's dealing with an injury. Then you've got Garrett Wilson.
They say he's good for week 1, by the way.
I've heard that.
About that.
Yep.
So he's going to be a good start for week 1, just so everyone knows.
I have
30
heard
seconds,
that.
Matt.
Oh, shit, 35 seconds, but I got a back-to-back. So I've got the turn. And this is where I'm a little... I'll take Jonathan Taylor.
Okay.
So the way that even in redrafts, the way that I always look at is I love going hero running back and then just hammering wide receivers and tight ends and other positions and then coming back with a couple of RB2s to kind of backfill it. So Jonathan Taylor, and I love Marvin Harrison. So like I said, I'm a wide receiver heavy drafter. That's just how I've always been.
He's a whore. Cut it out.
I think you get more value in wide receivers than you do in running backs. Even in redrafts, too many injuries, I will take Marvin Harrison Jr. As my second pick, if it'll allow me to. There it goes. So Jonathan Taylor, followed by Marvin Harrison. Then on the backside, you get Puka Nacua at 202. Kyren Williams, who I was actually debating between Kyren Williams and Jonathan Taylor. And actually, I'll ask you, Pat, who would you have picked, Kyren Williams or Jonathan Taylor first? Who do you like better?
I'm going to take Taylor, bro. I think Indy's going to play very solid. I love Richardson. I think it's going to be he's just a beautiful addition with everything should blend, man. He looks phenomenal, dude. I love it.
He's looked pretty shitty in the preseason.
No, but he looked okay with the Bengals game. He looked all right. I saw a little flick of like little spark in there. I liked it. So I think he did well with that. My pick.
I'll keep this up so people can see.
I'm not a fan of this pick, to be honest with you. Now this is like where like I can go a lot of different routes. Man, I don't know. Man,
so I'll fill in.
So
Barkley went right after Kyren Williams and Devontae Adams, then Drake London, then Travis Etienne, and Pat is back up at the 208.
Yeah, so I'm probably gonna take Henry here because it's just the bell cow and steady and consistent. So that's why I would take Henry here.
Okay.
And now I like. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, rattle off the picks behind you. You can cover the picks behind you, and I'll cover the picks the other way.
HN, Kelsey, Laporta. So you go in 2, tight ends right off the board. I've done that in other drafts. will not do that here. Allen, first quarterback off the board in team 1, followed by Chris Olave, Josh Jacobs, Isaiah Pacheco, Brandon Ayuk, and I am now back at the 5th. I have a couple different ways I can go on this one, and I like my picks better here for some reason. I feel safer. Mike Evans, Mahomes, I'm not taking. Nico and Diggs, I'm going to take Nico Collins in this position. So now I have St. Brown, Derrick Henry, and Nico Collins.
Okay. Then we just have a QB run. Yeah, that's a good start. Yeah. And then they have a QB run. Mahomes goes after that. Mike Evans, who you mentioned, who you pass on. Then Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Stephon Diggs. And then Rashad White. So it comes up to me. I currently have Jonathan Taylor and Marvin Harrison. Debo's on there. Jalen Waddle's on there. DJ Moore, Cooper Kupp, and Michael Pittman. There's a couple of routes that I could go. And I kind of mix it up sometimes. I could hammer wide receivers.
Your boy is here. I don't know, man. For you not to take DJ Moore, I'd be shocked.
In that offense, though, I feel like there's other players. So the one that I'll definitely take is Debo, and I'll say why. A, there's less miles to feed in that offense. B, if Ayuk, which looks like he might get a contract extension in San Francisco, but if anything happens there, it could mean bigger role for Debo. I just saw Debo had an amazing catch in the preseason, so I don't know, just get Debo hype. Now here's a real question. So usually in redrafts, I do one of two ways. I either wait for a quarterback and take a couple later on, or I take one early so that way it's just done and over with and I don't have to think about it. So I'm debating on CJ Stroud right now, but I'm not 100% sold on it. Jalen Waddle would be a great number 3 wide receiver. I do not like him as a number 2. So I say that right off the rip. And then you've got Cooper Kupp, who's Cooper Kupp healthy.
Yeah, man. I mean, especially with the Puka questions, man. I don't know. And Michael Pittman's there, which I love too, by the way.
Yeah, Michael Pittman though, like I said, is based on Richardson, and it's like he had a couple of good passes. You mentioned that, Pat, but he was not looking amazing in the preseason. So I'm just gonna go down a little bit, see who else is down here. I don't want to take tight end yet. I'm not risking for Mark Andrews yet. I'm gonna, you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna go. We talked about it. I'll take him. This is a homer pick for me. I like DJ Moore over Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp's age worries me. And then I would have taken probably Pittman or Waddle if they were gone. But I mean, there was too many choices. So they're all in the same tier. That's why it was a hard decision for me. So after that, Malik Neighbors went. That was the other guy when I scrolled down. Malik Neighbors was there, but I don't want to risk on a redraft doing 2 rookies as 2 of your 3 wide receivers. So that kind of scared me off a little bit. So Waddle went after that. DK Metcalf, James Cook, CJ Stroud went to the team 7 at 406. Then Mark Andrews, and Pat is up next.
Stroud's gone because I was taking Stroud. I want my stack.
You do love that. You do love
I love that.
Plus the stack would have been amazing.
Yeah, Collins and Stroud, or even Diggs and Stroud. That's what I've been going for. So I'm going with Pittman, dude. I love him. I want him. I have faith in Richardson this year.
Okay. Take us through the other ones.
Oh, so following that, Mr. Trey McBride went, Cooper Kupp, Joe Mixon, Zay Flowers, Kittle, Devontae Smith, Alvin Kamara, and George Pickens. Brings me right back to where I am now. Now this is where I would like a solid running back I would go with here. I think I'm going to look what I want. There's a lot of people I like. Yeah, I'm going to go with Kenneth Walker. I do like him this year, by the way.
Just pulled it up so everybody can see. So take us through the other ones while I'm looking at mine.
Tank Dell, T. Higgins, I think he's got a phenomenal year, dude. Absolutely love that, dude. Team 7's got some real. He's got 2 Bengals, 2 of the top Bengals, whatever. I take it.
Shit, yeah.
Stack, bro. If you look at what we'll go through this later, but Dalton Kincaid, Amari Cooper, Aaron Jones, followed by Kyle Pitts, and then Matthew is now on the board.
Matthew.
Yes, proper. I went proper.
You did go proper. Damn it. Okay, I've got a game plan. I'll see if it works. It may not work for me, but I'll try it. So I
go ahead.
Have 3 wide receivers already. This is not a homer pick.
Oh, Swift, clearly.
But I'm trying not to go homer pick though. No, it's either that or Montgomery, because Montgomery, honestly, he's been steady Eddie. But Swift has gotten so much. Swift looks like the RB1 in that offense. So I'm gonna go DeAndre Swift as my RB2. Okay. And actually, I'm gonna see who's at tight end. I might go back-to-back running backs.
Oh, what are you gonna go, Monty?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, back-to-back. Because then you have a risk in Swift, but then Monty's like steady Eddie. You know what I mean? It's like that's kind of my thought of like.
Got it.
You got Jonathan Taylor as an anchor. He's Mr. Unless he gets hurt, he's gonna be Mr. Everything. Would you personally do back-to-back running backs, or would you dip into the tight end first here? Or even
I'd take a quarterback where you are. That's just me. You're in the 6th, and you can get some really good value right now, but that's me.
Well, so the quarterback that I'm looking at would be the stack, so it'd be Kyler Murray. So my thought is it too early to grab Kyler Murray? I know everybody's loving Richardson.
Yeah.
You know what? Fuck it. I'll go Richardson, because then I'll at least have the Jonathan Taylor Richardson stack.
What I tell you, and look who went right after Burrow. I mean, I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Now you're starting to thin out a little bit, not by much. So Joe Burrow goes at the 11. Montgomery.
Monty goes. So that was the other running back that I was looking at.
Yeah, Connor, Scary Terry, Rashad Stevenson.
Ramondre Stevenson.
Sorry. And then I'm back. I'm pretty solid. I got the 3-2. Got 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs.
I'm just going to show other positions so people can see like what they might have in this particular. So you've got quarterback is Dak Prescott, Kyler Murray, Jordan Love, Brock Purdy. Then if you were thinking Ingram's still there from the tight end, basically everybody that was there while I was drafting, and then wide receiver is Rashee Rice is there.
I know, I got a plan now.
All right.
I think we're going to go with this. I'm going to just one more. One Najee on this pick.
Oh, Dunze.
Yeah.
I like it. I do like Odunze above Keenan Allen. And I know Keenan Allen's fallen a little bit on most people's boards.
I didn't take Rome. I took Najee Harris.
Oh, my bad. I was looking at the wrong. My bad. I was looking at
like,
4. I was looking to my right.
The wrong pick.
No, Najee. You took Najee. Good. That's a good pick. Yeah.
Yeah, for where he's at, the value.
Well, and Warren's injured too, so
yeah, so he's
at least at the beginning of the season. Oh, dude, he's gonna be awesome. Sorry about that. I completely looked at the 4 spot and thought you were taking a Dunze.
Yeah, so Dunze, then Godwin, then Dak, Rice. Not a big fan of that pick. Keenan Allen, no, not really a fan of that one. Also, Reed, love Xavier Worthy. That was my other guy that was on my radar. That right there that's the X factor right there. No pun intended, bro. And then Tony Pollard. Now I'm back, and I'm going to seal my deal now with this pick, and it make me happy. And I'm going to take your favorite team, the Packers. Jordan Love.
Fuck the Packers. I love how the screen's cutting you off. Pat, move your head more in the middle. There you go. Why do you not like the? It's all good,
dude.
Why don't you like the Rashee Rice pick?
I just don't. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm just not in love with it. I really am not.
Okay.
Too many questions, man. Especially later you need these picks for my redraft people. You need all these to count, man. Especially your top picks, bro. Everything counts right now because these people will play all the time. Most of you.
So you're worried about the suspension, is what you're worried about, or injury? Like, what are you worried?
Sure,
define what you're worried about, because
suspension.
You got to fill in some of the spots sometimes. You leave things open for. You got to tell the people.
So. Rashee Rice, I don't like what he did, and there's a lot of legal issues going. And bro, at this time, I don't want to deal with it. Imagine that. It's like you have my man took out CeeDee Lamb, another question, and then you have Rashee Rice. That's 2 people right off the rip there. You're like, will they play and when or how? Like, I don't want questions in redraft.
That's fair.
There's too much on the line, especially when you're putting a lot of money, dude. That's why. But I did take Jordan Love. I won my quarterback.
Good answer. Because it's injury, like there could be a lot of things that you're worried about. So I know everybody knows about the suspension, but clearly, as we talked about, it probably does not look like he's going to be suspended. But to Pat's point, you never know. They could do it in the middle of the season, and it could cost you, a really valuable pick. I've got 34 seconds left. One thing that I want to mention is that Kyler Murray would have made it back to me if I wanted him. I would have taken running back.
Yeah, so I was going to say, well, later on, we could talk about what you would have taken instead of Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. I'm going to look at the running back room again. I'm going to double tap the running backs because I do need more running backs. So I'm going to take Javonte Williams. I think he's being way undervalued. There was talks during the preseason and offseason that he might have been traded or might not have made the team. I think that was bullshit. He's always been the RB1, in my opinion, in that offense. So I don't understand anybody that would say otherwise. But sometimes bullshit comments like that make it to bigger talks. So whatever. It is what it is. I was going to take him, and then I'm going to look at wide receivers, see who's left. I think, there's a couple of good ones here. Juice. Yeah, there's definitely some juice. Let me look at tight ends just to see who's left. So we got Calvin Ridley for audio. Calvin Ridley's there. Ladd McConkey's there. I'm not a big fan of Hollywood Brown. Never have been, so I'd skip him. Keon Coleman for Buffalo's there. So there's a couple of options at wide receiver. I'm going to look at tight end. Tight end is kind of thinning out. Brock Byers went before, in between Pat and myself, along with Evan Ingram. Nick Chubb, that's another talk that I don't understand why people are even think Nick Chubb's going to do shit this year. He had 2 major injuries on his leg. If you look at anybody who has ACL, it takes him about a year to get up to speed. That's just with ACL. He had ACL and MCL injury. Almost looked like he's going to end his career
all the time, dude.
It looked like he was going to end his career. Like, people think, it's funny. People talk about, the Cleveland backfield and are like, he'll be back mid-season, like blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, dude, like he could potentially not even play this whole entire year. So I just went on a rant.
Agreed.
But I will take Njoku as a tight end just to kind of solidify the tight end room, because once it gets past that, I guess a little sketchy to me. I think he had a good back end of the season last year. So I'll take a risk on him. After that, when Ladd McConkey, DeAndre Hopkins went, which actually looks like Hopkins will be ready week 1, which is awesome. Then you have Zach Moss in Cincinnati, Calvin Ridley, who I think was also another good pick. That was one of the guys I was thinking about was Ridley. Austin Eckler, your boy, Austin Eckler went at the 806. 807 was Keon Coleman. I think that's a great pick for the 8th round. He will be the main force in Buffalo as far as receivers go. So in the 8th round, cannot go wrong with that at all.
No, not at all.
And Pat, you're up.
All right. I like this gentleman. He doesn't usually fall to me for some reason. I get picked out, so I'm gonna take him a little earlier than later. JSN, man. JSN. I like him, bro. I like him.
JSN. Take us through the back end picks behind you.
So Kyler Murray, your boy, just went now, which is crazy. That's 2 rounds past what you could have had him at, so that would have been a bargain. Hollywood Brown, who's injured. The rookie Thomas in Jacksonville, dude, Brian Thomas. I think he's gonna have a great year. He was also my other
Brian
one.
Thomas?
But,
oh yeah,
bro. But I like Jackson instead, so I picked him there. Brooks, Warren, I'm not a fan of. I don't even care about the handcuff too much because he's suffering with the injury already. Johnson, Purdy, and then Schultz, another good tight end, was taken off the board. So
that's actually the second tight end for Team 4, which is odd. Yeah. Usually I see 2 tight ends go this early.
No. So we know through other drafts things weirder will happen. So I believe this. This is accurate.
So looking at the board, Pat and one other team, Team 9, are the only 2 teams without a tight end. So this is usually where you want to start to look at the teams around you to see who do you have to worry about if you don't take a tight end here, who could take a tight end before it gets back to you. So
there's only one team ahead of me that has not taken a tight end. So that's Team 8. No, Team 9. Apologies.
Team 9.
So so he doesn't have one. So I can play around one more time. Can I gamble? I'm going to take my other one. I want a little stack action. I'm taking Christian Watson.
Oh, that's a good pick for the 9th round. Holy shit, Chris Watson in the 9th round.
Just sitting right there. I'll take it.
Yeah, and Team 9 did not take a tight end, so you lucked out there. Although Team 8 took another quarterback. Interesting again. And Team 10 took their quarterback, and Tua Tagovailoa. Tajay Spears went, Brian Robinson before that, and then Devin Singletary. So we had one tight end to go. So I missed that, actually. Team 6 took a second tight end, Ferguson. So there's another tight end that did go off your board, but it wasn't to the team that you expected in Team 9. It was Team 6, double tapping the tight end room for some odd reason. I don't know why, but whatever.
What's in your brain, though, Matt? We're here to pick you.
The wide receiver room kind of got very thin very quickly, although I'm not a big fan, although I will take this player just because he's going to end up being, he's like pretty much the only offensive weapon right now that they've got. And I don't know why Sleeper's doing this. It's taking too long. I won't look at it. I was going to pull up his profile. But I'm taking Courtland Sutton.
Okay.
Look at it. It's just spinning. There we go. Come on,
and
Sleeper. Wake up, Sleeper. So Courtland Sutton, and then Denver offense. We talked.
Sleeper's sleeping.
Sleeper's probably being overworked with all the mock drafts that are probably happening as we speak.
Dude, and drafts, everything.
And drafts and everything else going on. So I don't blame Sleeper. Sleeper probably needs some time off, just like you needed time off too. So I did Courtland Sutton. So right now I've got 3 running backs, 4 wide receivers. So I've got a pretty good start going. I've basically got all my spots filled out, including the flex. So I'm kind of pulling up my screen right now. So my current team looks like Anthony Richardson, Jonathan Taylor. So I got the Indy stack. I've got DeAndre Swift as my second running back. I've got wide receivers, Marvin Harrison Jr., Debo, DJ Moore. And then I've got tight end, David Njoku. And then finishing up the flex spots, Javonte Williams and Courtland Sutton. I did not realize I double tapped on the Denver team, which is fine. I hope that team doesn't suck ass. I did not realize I was going to do that. This is what happens to do mock draft. You gotta be prepared for all possibilities. So here's another guy that this is real. I kind of love Jameson Williams this year in Detroit. There's nothing really else that's kind of jumping out at me. Like I absolutely can't pass up on this guy. So this is the opportunity or the time when you can take chances. Jerome Ford is actually still here. That's what I was going to say earlier. Anybody that's saying that Jerome Ford is not going to be the starter through at least 6 to 8 weeks is out of their mind. Nick Chubb should not be drafted before Jerome Ford. If you do that, good luck. You probably need more help than anybody else. So I will
You're clearly not listening to our
You're clearly not fucking listening. So do not draft
You're an idiot.
Nick Chubb before Ford. Absolutely does not make any goddamn sense.
You're about to be timed out. I love it.
I'm just dragging it out. Javonte Williams, Dallas Goedert, Hawkinson went.
Oh my God, 2 tight ends. Who does this? You're screwing me.
There's 3 teams that took 2 tight ends, and the one team that you're waiting for. Yeah, this is why we hate Mock with the computer. This is why we're getting real people to mock with us. Going
mock draft. I hate you. Screw the tight end. I don't even care anymore.
Who do you got left in the tight end room? We gotta look at this. It's just through. You got Cole, Komet. That's pretty much about it. Oh damn.
Hold on. I'm mad because I want Chase Brown. Bullshit. That's who I was really going to reach for right there.
Chase Brown, dude, starting running back at the 10th round is fucking. That's amazing.
I hate this fucking thing. Sorry for my language. I was just like, what? I'll take.
You're seeing Pat on tilt. This is what happens in a normal draft.
I know. So and that's why I start throwing shit. I took my tight end, Patty.
Dude, Team 1 took another tight end too.
This is the stupidest people. I hate everyone in this draft. You CP.
I mean, it is flex, so theoretically they could be in your flex spot. It is not tight end premium for anybody watching or listening. This is not a tight end premium draft. I did not set it up that way. Apparently, the computer just loves the value of tight end, so it is what it is.
All right, so I'm back up. Stupid computer. Oh man, threw me off. I'm looking at some running backs now because I would like to solidify one more before it gets too deep in. So I'm gonna take Chuba Hubbard. I think that's pretty solid.
Well, yeah. I mean, again in Carolina, dude, he'll be the starting running back until Jonathan Brooks can actually get up to speed.
That's what I said. And then, so it's a solid. Now we're getting kickers already.
It's a great pick. And here's what I'll say, because this doesn't get enough conversation as well. So again, Jonathan Brooks, for people who don't know, came out of college, tore his ACL in college towards the end of the season. So he might not be ready till middle of the season. He's definitely not practicing, hasn't done anything with the team. So coming back from major knee injury, you will not be 100% the first year. We've seen that from pretty much every player. There's been a few exceptions, which happen, fine. But Breece Hall was one of them. Last year, he came back very healthy, played amazing. But that's not common. That is not common. Usually takes running backs specifically about a year to get up to speed, feel comfortable with planting, cutting on that knee. It's a mental game a lot of times because it has to do with them fearful that their knee isn't going to do the same thing that it's always done before. So Jonathan Brooks has had an ACL. He's also coming into the league for the first time in his career. Obviously just got drafted. He doesn't know the offense. He hasn't played in the offense. He hasn't played any snaps. So it's going to take him a long time to get up to speed. I don't see Jonathan Brooks as a play this year in redraft unless it's at the back end of the season. That's my personal opinion. I wouldn't draft him in the 8th round. I probably would wait to draft him towards the end of the round, maybe 10th, 11th, 12th round, if even that. But Chuba Hubbard, to the better conversation, will be the starting running back in Carolina until Jonathan Brooks is healthy. So Chuba Hubbard is an amazing value in the 11th round, just like Chase Brown is amazing value in the 10th round. So pay attention to not just the name and who's going to be the starter and what people are saying, to
Jerome Ford in the 11th round is a starter also.
Nuts,
you can't
dude.
complain.
It's nuts.
Come on, man.
Yeah, and I'm about to be timed out because I talk a lot. I will take. I'm going to take Rico Dowdle. This is a risk.
Yeah. No, he could be the starter too, bro. Let me tell you,
we talk about the sleeper starters. If it'll let me do it, come on, sleeper, kick it in. Did it do it? Okay, there we go. Fucking sleeper.
How about this, Matt? Take your next pick and then break me down with both of them if you want to do it like that. So you have plenty of time.
Let's see what we got on the board.
Dowell is a good one because Zeke is not in shape, dude. He's winded in his practices. He does not look good unless they're just showing negative clips of the Cowboys like they usually do. But he's also old.
He's old, man. That's what people don't understand. So I'm going to go another wide receiver. There's a running back that I like too. So Zach Charbonnet I think is decent. Jalen Wright is the other one that I was thinking about, but I don't know how many high-end upside guys I need from a running back perspective. I need another wide receiver.
He's also, if anyone gets hurt ahead of him, he moves up immediately.
Oh, he'll be the RB1.
That's
when I'm looking at my wide receiver room, I think I do need another wide receiver to kind of just mix in and out. So I'm going to take Jacoby Myers. Jalen Wright would have been the other one. I don't think there's anything wrong if I would have taken Jalen Wright, and he probably went right after. Nope, Shakir went. Then Zach Charbonnet.
Shakir was not.
Dobbins.
My whole queue just went.
Who did you have in your queue? Rattle it off.
I had Shakir. I wanted him. I think he's going to do solid over there. He's going to be a nice little piece over there. Zach Charbonnet for my handcuff. I wanted him just to have.
100%.
Dobbins, I didn't care less. He's always hurt. Not really excited.
No, I'm not a fan of Dobbins. Not even worth the draft.
Yeah. No,
again, you've got Team 9 has no tight end but 2 quarterbacks and a kicker.
It can happen.
But and that's the funny thing. Like we forget about this because we do a lot of dynasty, and a lot of times we're drafting with like people that are like experts in this field. Especially the last year. That's kind of like how we've gone into as far as all of our teams. But you do see this a lot, Pat. You're right. I mean, I've seen it in my home leagues, and I'll probably see it in a couple of them. You'll see some like head scratchers are like 2 quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson and Caleb Williams. Do you need them both? But I mean, people, if Lamar goes down, you want somebody to fulfill it. And Caleb is a great secondary quarterback. So you do see this quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I'm on the clock. I want another wide receiver, and he's here, and I like him. He did great, and he looked good in preseason and in training camp, and he's connecting well with Watson, Jerry Jeudy.
That's a good pick for the 12th round. That's an awesome pick, dude.
Yeah, I love that. So Elliott went next. Palmer, Musgrave. The Niners defense came off the board. The first defense, which is probably one of the top 3. Jalen Wright went. Great pick there at the 13. Xavier Legette, Kirk Cousins. The Jets defense, another solid one. That was on my queue too for later on because remember it's only 16 rounds, so pick and choose what you want to do and when you want to do it. In this situation, I'm going to go do something a little different than I usually don't do. I'm going to grab the Ravens defense. I want to get it done. As crazy as it sounds, Matt, the defense has made and broke me so many times, man.
Oh, 100%.
And like not to have a pretty solid one, I'm like, dude, I'm tired of it.
Well, and especially you need to know your league. We haven't really talked a lot about this season, but know the scoring in your league. You and I have been a part of a league where defense got crazy scoring points. And if you're not
a lot of scoring points.
Yeah, like if you're not almost like a wide receiver too, basically is what it came down to. And if you're not privy to it, and if you don't understand that, and you pass on defense and you just I'll just do a waiver pickup. That's how you lose matches if you're not really paying attention to how teams are valued and how defenses are scored. I'll take Dallas, man, as a defense. Speaking of defense,
solid, yeah, of course.
Yeah, so I just want to get somebody early. Dallas, obviously, they invest a lot in the defense, so I want to get that done. That way, I don't have to worry about it. Kicker, I will wait till probably my last pick for a kicker. I do kind of fluctuate sometimes. Sometimes I'll do kicker and defense the very last pick. Sometimes I'll be the first one to take a defense, but I will never be the first one to take a kicker. I just don't find the value between the two of them. I think defense is more valuable to grab earlier than a kicker, in my opinion. Especially like kickers can get injured. They could get kicked off a team for missing kicks. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. And then now looking at where I'm at, I don't know. This is like the part of the draft where it's like really starts to get like very dry very quickly. From a running back perspective, there's Tyler Algier who's there, Antonio Gibson, Kendre, who apparently has his coach has been talking a lot of shit about him. He's been injured throughout camp, and his coach keeps knocking him for not being available. So I don't want to take him. McLaughlin is there, which I'm debating on, and then Marshawn Lloyd. And then wide receivers, there's really nobody that's like I'm dying to get. Devontae, I forgot how to say Devontae Wicks. I forgot how you say his name.
Yeah, Wicks.
Dontavian. There you go. Dontavian in my brain. I just couldn't put the two together. Dontavian Wicks would be the only wide receiver that I'd take at this spot.
Okay.
But I'm going to end up taking
Come on, Matt.
Tyler Algier.
There you go.
I probably should take McLaughlin, but I like Algier better as like a backup.
That's fine.
And then after that went
Watson.
Yep.
Downs. Wicks went. Sanat. Dude, Disc 9 still doesn't have a tight end.
No.
Mayfield, Gibson. I'm up. I'm just going to end this and get this done quicker than usual.
You're doing a kicker?
Yeah, I'm going to take him. And these people will be kicking a lot of field goals because they're going to be scoring. Bear. Houston, baby. Tracy followed him. Tyler Bass, McLaughlin, your boy. Stafford, Dicker the kicker. Sanders. Otto is a good. That's actually Otten. He's a good tight end. He's a starter from Tampa Bay. Could have taken Team 9, but they didn't want to, clearly. Cooks.
but Team 3 has 2 tight ends now, so they're happy. Along with Team 1 and Team 2.
Clearly going to do a trade.
No, this is redraft. Like a lot of people they'll double up on everything. So double up on kickers, tight ends, defenses, redraft. This is how people draft. I mean, this is actually pretty accurate.
All right, so I'm going to go now. I'm going to take a flyer on this gentleman. I like him a lot. I'm going to take Darnell Mooney. I think he has.
I agree. Wide receiver 2 in that offense, yes, and that could be a very
good. I got him in the 15th. Why not?
Why not? So I've got Anthony Richardson. I probably, out of honestly everybody, I probably should take in two quarterbacks. I will take a second one here. I have 2 picks left, so I will take Bo Nix. He will be a starter. Both are going to, are questionable as far as what they can do, but I do need a starter in case Richardson goes down. Richardson has had a lot of injuries throughout his college career and was injured all of last year, except for I think the first 2 or 3 weeks. So I just wanted some type of backup, and then it is my last pick. So sometimes I do not take a kicker right away.
Now you're going to take one.
And I'll take, let's see. This is where I'll take Carlson in Vegas. He's been consistently good.
He's good.
Daniel Carlson, Las Vegas kicker.
And it's indoor. All those things play a little bit of a thing. A little defense go. Browns, Bucks, Steelers, Dolphins, Commies, Eagles. Last but not least, I've been taking this guy in all my spots. Bam, my man, Jermaine Burton.
Oh, shit. I actually thought I was going to go early. That's actually pretty late. But I guess in redraft, it makes sense.
I wanted him. I had to.
Then wrapped up after Burton was taken, after Pat took his guy. Kendra Miller went, then the Chiefs defense, Seahawks defense, and followed by Vidal. So,
yeah.
Take us through your team, Pat, first, and then I'll go through my team, and then we'll talk about like picks that we do.
I love it. Minus like no tight end because I got shafted by a guy who takes like 3. But other than that, so St. Brown with the first, came around, took Derrick Henry, Nico Collins, Michael Pittman. So I got 3 solid studs at receiver. Nice.
Dude, solid, Pittman as the number 3 is like pretty insane. He could be a number 1 wide receiver.
That's what I'm saying. I'm cool with that.
Fantasy, yeah.
Yeah, so then I was like, all right, cool. Now we got to go a little running back action. Walker looks great. I think he's going to have a great season. Then I got Najee, the bell cow as of right now. So my first 6 picks, I have 3 starters in both positions. Super happy with that. I would not complain. Then I follow with Jordan Love. I think he's going to have a great year. He got, a little bit of money, right? I mean, you can't complain. JSN, I love him. I think he's a nice, solid number 2. That's going to be his team eventually. Then I got Christian Watson, a little extra stack action. I like the way he plays, man, especially getting me in the 9th. Now I got my tight end, Pat. I don't even say his name. Matt, say it right.
Freiermuth.
Got my tight end. Fireman over there. And then, like I said, Chuba Hubbard, whatever you call him.
Chuba Hubbard.
Whatever Hubbard.
Chuba
Hubba. Carolina, he's going to be the starting running back there. Solid. Like I told you guys earlier, Jerry Jeudy looks amazing in camp. I liked him in the preseason. Ravens defense is just ugly and mean. Can't beat that. Sucks I have to see them because I am a Bengals fan, so I have to root for them, I guess, horribly. Fairbairn, nice ass kicker, and I think they'll be scoring a lot of points. Mooney, I think that offense should be revamped and looking really good. So like you said, he's like the number 2 wide receiver over there, right? I mean, you can't go wrong with that. And then following out, my man, 100 grand, Jermaine Burton. He looks good too, and he's going to be a great rookie, and he's going to be the number 3 receiver on that team with the potential of being a 2 in the future when Higgins leaves. Kaboom.
So a couple of questions for you, and then we'll go on to, actually 3. I think 3 questions I got.
Give me the 3.
All right, first question, Pat. It's kind of a combo question. You only have 1 quarterback and 1 tight end. Is that usually how you focus your team builds on not having a backup tight end or a quarterback for position?
So tight end, I'm not usually as worried, but I mean, usually there's usually 1 there. But I mean, people went 3 tight ends in some situations here.
I mean, it got nuts.
So,
tight ends went really quickly.
Orthodox with no tight end premium. So I was like, okay, whatever. Usually you can always sneak a second one in somewhere. Couldn't do it here. Usually I do take 2 quarterbacks. I usually do, but I wasn't in love, man. Like some of the stuff I was like, usually I can get like a Deshaun Watson later in the round. He went
I was going to try to pull up to see who was left on the board, but it won't, because the draft is over. It won't show like who was still left.
It was really dry. I'm not taking Will Levis or any weirdness or anything.
Yeah, it was dry when I took Bo Nix. and I took him around before I got back to you. So
yeah, so I was not in love, but yeah, usually I could take a second tight end just naturally comes around that area, but there wasn't any, so whatever. And then usually a quarterback too, but it sucked. But I'll ride it out, and I would figure it out anyway.
okay.
People are going to need. I have a lot of juice on my board. People are going to want me for something. Matt, take me away.
So that was question 1. Question 2: are there any picks that you wish you had back that you're just like, damn it, like tight end, for example, because that you got burned on tight end because you passed up on tight end round 9, thinking that only team 9 needed a tight end, and you were taking that risk because there's only one team. Well, 3 tight ends went before it came back to you. None of them went to team 9. So if you had that back, would you have taken a tight end instead of Watts in that position?
I would have taken Schultz, is who I really would have wanted, but he was like gone. He was gone right before me. Yep. So I would have taken Schultz over Christian Watson. That was the switch.
Okay.
If you want
Other
to know
than that,
my theory. So.
None of the tight ends that went after that you would have taken over. Okay.
I'm fine with. I would have been fine with that.
Okay.
Seriously, that would have been good.
What is your favorite pick?
My favorite pick in this draft, I think Michael Pittman at 4 is solid, dude.
Yeah. Okay.
That's awesome.
Okay.
And even Kenneth Walker and Najee back. I mean, those 3 right there where they fell were really, really good. Like super solid. I mean, they're all starters. They're all ones. So rounds 1 through 6 are all started, like solid starters for me.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really that you did that I would have done differently, except for probably the tight end.
And like I told you, but then Schultz is gone, but Christian Watson's there in the 9th. I'm taking him. You know what I mean? I'm not going to let him go.
No, that's
fair.
A
really good pick.
Yeah, there's nothing that I can really pick apart with your team. To be honest with you, I'm trying to look at it to see if I can, and I feel like there's nothing that I felt like was a reach. I don't think there's any. Sometimes when we've done these mock drafts, you'll have more risk and reward players than really like even kill, and they're all like solid, legit. So injury might be one thing, but no, all in all, love it, dude. Great.
Thanks,
great
man.
Squad, brother. Great squad. Glad it's not actually on a redraft that we play together against. So I'll hate to see you in the championship. All right, I'm going to take it through my squad, right about an hour. So we'll try to get through this fairly quickly in the next 15 minutes. Start out, obviously I'm on the turn, so 12 spot. Jonathan Taylor, then went Marvin Harrison Jr. Then came back to me, went Debo and DJ. So right off the bat, I've got an amazing running back, could be running back 1 in the league, and 3 elite wide receivers. Debo's probably the only real question mark. DJ, I think, is still going to get a lot of play in that offense, just watching the preseason games, watching his rapport with Caleb. I think DJ Moore is definitely the wide receiver 1 in that offense. And then I think wide receiver 2 is Adunze. I don't think it's Keenan Allen. I think Keenan Allen will be wide receiver 3 in that offense, but that's just me. And I'm just watching like what I've seen in film and just like where he throws it to. Followed by, at this point, like I said, I usually do heavy wide receiver build with kind of like a anchor running back. So the anchor running back was Jonathan Taylor, but then in the 5th round, I felt like I had to kind of double up on running backs. Wasn't really loving the wide receivers at that point. Felt like they were lower tiers than the running back position was. So here was my first kind of conundrum. I wanted DeAndre Swift. I took him. I debated on taking Montgomery instead of Richardson. And the thought was that waiting for Kyler Murray to come back to me so I could do the Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison stack. Just looking at it, I was like, screw it. I don't really have a lot of investment in Richardson. I wanted to play it out as though this is a normal draft. I think people are really hyping Richardson this year. I am worried about how much he can throw the ball, how accurate he is. He's going to be an amazing runner. There's also the injury concern. So it is a pretty big risk in my opinion. But in the 6th round, I think this is probably where you'll see him go. So I want it to be accurate. So I picked Richardson. Coming back, then got Javonte Williams. Like you said, he's running back 1 in that offense, dude. So in the 7th round, I have basically 3 starting running backs that are the lead running back in their offense. Followed up by Njoku because I did not want to get stuck with, a lower tier tight end. It is a position you have to fill, so I do like taking a tight end earlier, not super early, and not like in the 2nd round. Won't do it. But if Kelsey or somebody McBride was available for me in the 5th round, I probably would take them. But anyways, here and there, took Njoku, followed by Cortland Sutton, who's going to be the number 1 wide receiver in the Denver offense. Here's where I got a little bit probably more risky than I sometimes will do. Jameson Williams in Detroit. He's looked amazing in camps. Got a lot of rave from the coaching staff. He looks like he's finally putting it together. He had a lot of hype coming out of college, out of Alabama. And it looks like he's finally living up to that bill, knock on wood. Then 11th round, I cannot believe this guy was still here. Dwaddle, the fact that he's going to be probably the starting running back, Pat and I talked about it. Zeke has only got in front of him. Zeke does not look amazing so far, and he's older, definitely banged up. Nobody even wanted him, so he signed a lower contract to go back to Dallas. I don't see him playing out the year in Dallas, so I think Dwaddle will be the starting running back in Dallas. And Jacoby Myers as the 1201. Jacoby Myers consistently is wide receiver 2 in the Las Vegas offense. Quarterback is obviously a question mark in there, but whatever, the 12th round, it's worth the risk. Came back. I didn't want to be stuck with a low end defense. I took the Dallas Cowboys. Tyler Algier, followed by Bo Nix, and then rounded it out with the kicker, Daniel Carlson, to round out the kicking group. So the only thing that I think for me that I probably would have done differently looking at it, if I could have predicted the board, I probably would have taken David Montgomery instead of Richardson, and then taken Kyler Murray in the 7th round, kind of flip those around a little bit. But other than that, I'm very happy with the squad, dude. Starting, if you look at the position, they look at my team, starting roster would look something like this. You've got Anthony Richardson, Jonathan Taylor, DeAndre Swift, Marvin Harrison Jr., Debo, and DJ Moore as a wide receiver group, followed by David Njoku. And then for the flex, Javonte Williams and Cortland Sutton, or Jameson Williams, Rico Dowdle, Jacoby Myers. So very happy with how it turned out. So same questions for you, or, ask me the same questions I asked you. Anything I'll do differently, I kind of walked through that. Any picks I wasn't happy with. Probably Tyler Algier was probably like the pick that I was not happy with. In hindsight, I would have taken Wicks instead, Dontavian Wicks, which we talked about. I as soon as I clicked Tyler Algier, I really was like, damn it, I would have taken Wicks in a normal draft. Would have been a little more accurate for how I do draft. So, any other questions
Matt,
or thoughts for me?
Take Anthony Richardson back now after you saw where your other boy dropped that you were looking at?
Well, that's what I said. I said I would have taken David Montgomery. If I had it back, I would have taken David Montgomery.
Just be Monty for Richardson, right? You said?
Yeah, Monty for Richardson. Then I would have taken, on the flip side, on the 7, I probably would have taken Kyler Murray at the 7 or my 8th because I had the turn. So I'd have taken him, Kyler at one of those picks, either 7 or the 801.
Oh, okay. So, and then who would you bump down then? Out? Sutton or Njoku?
It probably would have been, it would have been the 7. It would have been these two. It would have been Devontae Williams. It would have been these two.
Okay, so yeah, so who
if I would have taken, if I would have taken Montgomery, I would have needed Javonte Williams because I would have already had a running back. Fair. So I basically would have been swapping the positions here and here. So I would have taken a running back here and taken my quarterback there, and then kept Njoku as the tight end.
Okay, that's fair.
So instead of Richardson and Williams, it would have been Monty and Kyler Murray. Basically, as the two.
Got it. And then Njoku stays where he is, and then Sutton doesn't look as bad because then you don't have all these Denver guys on your team either.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's fair.
No, I mean, not much, cool. Not much. But I do have quite a bit of a Denver stack. So I would be definitely betting heavy on Denver.
And you got Bo Nix too.
I just saw that too. Yeah, I was like, damn it. Bo Nix is the last quarterback that was left, and I felt like with all the concerns of the Richardson, I need some type of insurance at quarterback. And to your point, besides Bo Nix, there was really nobody that's like, I mean, Will Levis, to your point.
No one. No, dude. That's why I said I'll just wait till
in a
waiver wire someone drops.
Well, here's the problem: both of our builds that we did, because we did wait so long in a redraft to get a backup quarterback. If either of our quarterback goes down, we're pretty much out. Like our season's done. So
yeah, all good.
Something to think about. Yeah. So you got anything else, man? Before we wrap it up and cut out for the day.
No. Well, let me move over since we're back in normal mode.
There you go.
Drop my screen down. It's fucking Sleepers cuts my head and moves me across the whole
I know.
world,
It does a weird. It's not Sleepers. It's Ecamm Live, does it? It has nothing to do with Sleepers.
Thanks, Ecamm. I appreciate you.
Ecamm's the bitch. So what else you got, Pat?
So since we're wrapping up, have a good weekend, Matt. Let's get ready for the big week. Next week is it. All in. We got a lot going over there. Elite, we're all in over here also. I mean, it's all
Well, we're not done this weekend. I'm going to need you to jump on probably tomorrow to do. We're going to have to test this fucking live feed tomorrow.
Well, they don't have to see our test, thank God.
No.
All right, that's the good
part. I don't think so. I got to figure out how to do the live test for YouTube. Nobody sees it, so we'll see how that works.
Yeah, so hopefully everything goes good, and then no more injuries. We just flat out, this is it, dude. Mock heavy. Listen to the advice. Go with your gut. Go with best available. Don't draft 5 tight ends. Don't draft 3 quarterbacks. Play right. Don't.
Well,
sometimes, and also too, my advice to a lot of people, and people ask me what do I think with certain situations. I said sometimes best available works the best.
100%. Yeah.
Like if there's value there, take the value. I'm looking at your eyes, whoever these people are on the other side of the world and states. Pick best available, bro, because don't force a pick either. You know what I mean? Some people force it's like. No,
or they reach, like, dude, or they reach, or they
reach really far. Like, I really want Scott, but he might fall to you. You don't know what other people are thinking. You know what I mean? There's 11 other people or 9 other people in this room. On average, is 10 or 12, draft. But go with best available sometimes. Sometimes it works out even better. That's my opinion. So and you can't be a homer pick either, too, because people are like, oh, I don't like him. No, screw that, dude. If he's good, take him.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit.
And we're going to say a couple of things which are massively important for anybody who's doing Dynasty or anybody who's doing fantasy football. So a couple of things. First, we talked about this, know the format. Know how many starters you need. Know your point scoring system. Look at that first and foremost. You need to know what's going on. Is it 10 premium? Is it half PPR? Is it full PPR? Is there any juice in any other way that you just don't see coming? Defenses, are they spiked in a certain way? You've got the new kickoff return thing. Is that a part of defensive special teams? Will you get scoring for that? All these are questions that you need to think about as you go into your draft. Second thing is have a strategy, have a plan. That's why you do mock drafts. Try different things, figure out your position, where you're drafting at, do a whole bunch of mock drafts, start to figure out and don't do them always the same way. People are like, oh, I mock, but they'll keep doing, I do running back right away. Regardless of what? No, fuck it, dude. Flip it. Mock drafts are a reason to try out and a benefit to try out different ways of drafting to see how that could build your team and change your team aesthetic at the end, right? So if you mock draft and force yourself, like I said, I usually draft very heavy wide receivers, but I'll mock draft and draft running backs earlier just to see, hey, do I like that build better this year, given how deep the wide receiver group is?
Right? Yeah, it's a good way to put it. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, know your league, know your format. And know the people you're drafting with. These are your boys.
That's the last thing I was going to say is
know who you're drafting with.
Know the room. Know the room.
Yeah, you got to feel it. You'll see it. Even if you're new to a league. So I'm joining a league I'm new to. I actually got suckered in, which is fine. I'm going to take their money also.
Yeah.
I kind of have a feeling there's going to be some wacky people in there. I don't even care if someone goes on auto draft. I don't care, bro. Don't worry about it. You shouldn't be in the league if you auto, but that's my opinion.
If you auto draft, you should not be playing fantasy football. I'm sorry. There's absolutely no reason.
You don't know what you're doing.
If you can spend an hour and a half drafting, then don't even bother.
Yeah, you suck at life.
All right, anything else, man? We kind of went over a little bit. Patty?
We don't want to bore him.
It's always great. And until next time, peace. We're out.